Alright, Matrix, we're looking at loans here, the activity 6.5, page 130. So there was an issue straight off the bat with the first question where they told you that the person was going to be paying interest over 3 years but then paying it off over 2 years. So I just made the assumption that we were actually going to work with 3 years for both of them. It must have been some sort of change that happened between the textbook versions. Okay. So, it's a hire purchase, fairly straightforward. Work out the interest for the period of time. So it's 16% for 3 years, so it's a total of 1,200 Rand because it's simple interest. Otherwise you would have taken 16% of 2,500 and got 400 as a result. Multiplied that by 3 would still give you the 1,200. Alright, so we're finally going to have to pay 3,700 over the lifetime of the loan, or the hire purchase. Monthly installments, we're working with 3,700 divided by 36. That is the 36 months. 3 times 12 is 36 to give us our monthly installments. And finally, the interest divided by the final amount will give us the total of the final amount that we are paying as interest of 32.4% here. Okay, the second thing we're looking at now is working with these loan tables where everything's been amortized. You would notice that on the table the payment was constant every month and everything was going to come down to a final total of 0 at the end, the closing balance after everything's been paid. Alright, so it's fairly straightforward. You take the amount, whatever it is, of the previous month, the balance, find 12% of it. Obviously you're going to have to divide that by 12 because we are looking at a monthly interest rate, and that's an annual interest rate given there to give you that interest for that 1 month. Did a very similar thing here, took the amount, added the interest to it, and took off our payment to get our new balance at the end. You'll notice that after this 1 month and this payment, the balance has become smaller because we are slowly eating away at the amount that we owe them. Real cost is just the monthly payments multiplied by the period. We've got 60 months, so the real cost is fairly straightforward at 215,946 Rand 60 cents. Okay, for the interest, just take the closing amount or the final amount, take off the initial amount that was borrowed, and that would give us the amount of interest that would have been paid. Alright, questions to reinform. I've covered the concept a little bit in my previous video on the interest experiments when we were looking at the loans section and the little loan calculator that we were playing around with, where if your interest rate goes down, your installments are going to be smaller. Alright, and with that, the real cost, or the amount that you pay over the lifetime of the loan, will decrease, and also because of that the interest will decrease. Naturally, the interest rate decreases, the interest will have to decrease over the lifetime of the loan. Similar thing with question 4. You pay a larger installment. That means that you'll pay it off over a shorter period of time. If you're paying it over a shorter period of time, the real cost can decrease. You'll notice the real cost did decrease. That was actually because you're paying off more of the balance every month, which means that you'll be paying less interest per month. Look at the table. You'll notice the interest amounts are smaller between the different options there. Okay, and you also see as a result the interest is smaller because the interest has decreased. Okay. So, hopefully that's clear enough. If you have any questions, once again, you can always just let me know and I'll try to clarify things. Thank you.